Hello everyone, welcome back to the Lippy Studio. Today I'm here to review When Calls the Heart Season 12, Episode 4. It is called Dancing Teens. So overall, I thought this was a cute episode. It was very feel-good. I thought everything with the kids was really sweet, and the Elizabeth and Nathan scenes are sweet. The investigation was funny. The Lucas and Edie scenes I have a lot of thoughts on those. But there was also just some silly stuff throughout that didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But let's just go ahead and jump right in. So basically, Allie is planning her dance party, and Elizabeth offers to teach them how to dance, even though she has no idea how to do the Charleston or the shimmy. Her and Rosemary attempt to learn, and Elizabeth admits that she's trying to impress Allie a little bit because, things are different now that she's dating Nathan. So they luckily get lessons from May. And one question I do have about this episode is, where is little Jack at? I guess maybe he's upstairs sleeping while her and Rosemary are practicing the dance the first time. And then when she goes over to Nathan's to talk to him and Allie, maybe Rosemary's watching then. But I guess we're supposed to assume Nathan and Allie are watching him while Elizabeth and Rosemary are off dancing with May. And then Rosemary is watching him again during the dance. It's just little things like that. I get they can't have the little actor in every episode, but it's just funny to me that they can't even have him in one scene, or I don't know. And Elizabeth, it just seems like a terrible mother. She's off doing all this dancing the entire episode and not even with her son at all. I just thought that was a funny thing to me. And the fact that Goldie wasn't even in the episode either. I guess Lee was probably watching her most of the time, but even then, I guess we're to assume that the daycare is where they're at, but not at nighttime, so I have no idea. But no, there's also just some cute stuff with Allie crushing on Wyatt and wanting him to come to the dance, and Oliver's crushing on Allie. They're building up this love triangle or whatever. I think it's kind of cute. I'm not super opposed to it. As long as it doesn't go to the extreme of the Elizabeth, Lucas, and Nathan love triangle, then I'm good. I don't think it will, because I have a theory about what this is all about. So we also have Molly, and basically she is super against the dance. We don't really know why she is. She's just very antagonistic throughout this entire episode, and she's trying to cancel the dance. She calls an emergency board meeting, and basically Allie says that this dance is meant for having fun, and Elizabeth and Nathan back her up, and they agree to chaperone, as well as Joseph and Minnie, and Jed and Molly. So that kind of all works out in their favor, so that's good and all. Kind of a bit of stupid drama. I mean, I guess probably for that time period, it makes sense for there to be some opposition for a teen dance party alone. I mean, probably there should have been adults involved right from the start. I mean, even nowadays, I don't think a 17th birthday party would be completely adult-less. I have not been to a party like that, personally. So there's always been adults present for any type of party. But no, and I thought the dance itself looked a bit modern. It seemed a bit excessive for being, 100 years ago. But, I guess I'm willing to put that aside. So there's also this plot line with Angela and her dad. And basically, Angela feels different because she is different. She's blind. And she just feels like nobody understands what it's like to be her, and everyone's just really excited for this dance. But meanwhile, she can't even see herself. She doesn't really know how to dance. And Joseph at first is you're just like everyone else. You're not different. But then he realizes later he wasn't listening to Angela. He was just giving wise words like he always does. And Henry's the one who makes him realize that. And then Joseph goes back and apologizes, and Angela reveals she wants to go to a college for the blind. So I think this issue is going to come back up later on, because I assume these kids are going to graduate this season, and then we'll see Angela going off to college at the end. So I think this plot line is going to pick back up later on. But I thought the scenes, and they were father and daughter in real life, which totally makes sense because I thought the scenes were really good between them. And this is the type of stuff I wanted from the Canfields, not just them in business mode or stuff like that. I kind of wanted these family dynamics. Now, I do kind of wish Minnie was involved too. And I'm sure she will be later on because I think she was the one who was more skeptical of Angela going to that college. So I think the fact that Joseph supports it right now, I think, is just a setup for Minnie going to be more against it later on in the season, whenever they come back to that. But I did really like those scenes, and I like how they brought in The Story of My Life by Helen Keller. That was a nice little tie-in to that time period for sure. And then we also have Rosemary and Bill investigating, and I thought the scenes were funny, but I thought parts of it were stupid. Basically, Nathan thinks there's a connection to the Garrison gang, who was, like, way back, like season 2 or 3 was when they were in the show. So Nathan thinks there's a connection there. But Rosemary and Bill want to figure out who spent the coin, because whoever spent the coin they think must have a connection to the Garrison gang, is their theory. So they go to the mercantile, they ask Florence and Ned who used the gold coin, but they don't remember at all. And I'm not going to lie, like, if they would have remembered it, I get that, like, there wouldn't be a conflict if they had remembered it, but come on, it's their one job, like, to pick up things like that, and it's not like if someone spent a gold coin, that would be easily noticeable, so, I don't know, that was definitely odd to me, unless, like, someone else was running the stand at that time, or the mercantile, when they were, the person spent it, but even then it seems a bit far-fetched, so I thought that was kind of stupid that they didn't remember who spent it. They suspect Molly did because the $1 was for hazelnuts, but Molly says she did not spend it. We find out later it's Jed who spent it, and I think he's innocent because I think someone used that in his business, and I don't think he has any connection to the Garrison gang. I think him and Molly are going to have a relationship, though. And, I wanted Bill and Molly together, but, if I think they want Bill to be more of like an investigator. So if this is what makes Molly happy, then good for her. I like that they tied it back around and we found out that Molly threw a party when she was young and the boy she liked never showed. So she didn't want Allie to go through that same heartbreak. It was kind of cute. I mean, also, like, still kind of like, doesn't really excuse how antagonistic she was being. But, it's Molly. Like, she's a minor character, and the fact that this is the most screen time she's ever gotten in the show is actually funny. But I'm hoping for more from her, and it's nice that they're giving her a love interest. But basically, we also have Lucas and Edie. Basically, Lucas just goes to her uncle's ranch and runs into her. Like, he was clearly trying to go see her. He acted like he wasn't. She just says that her uncle's ranch means everything to her and the legacy is important, and that's why they can't build the national park on it. Sorry, because it's just that important to the legacy and blah blah blah. And it's just like, I don't know. It just, to me, I'm like, why is Lucas spending so much time with the woman who's tried to ruin his national park project? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, I get he's probably smitten for her, and maybe he wants to work out a deal. Maybe that's why he's doing this. But you would have thought he would have just suggested a deal while he was with her, but no, he didn't. He just kept glancing at her, and I don't know. I feel like Lucas would be smarter than this, because it's not like this is in character for him to, like, try to get smitten with the enemy. It's not. It's definitely out of character for him. So I was very surprised that he was, like, just spending all this time with her, and especially when she's apparently engaged and he's still, like, going to her and being around her. It was just very odd. And basically a calf gets out and Lucas helps her catch it, and then he gets the rope and lassos the calf. Not gonna lie, Lucas looked pretty good there with his hair, like, kind of all over the place. And I'm like, that's probably his best look, honestly. I think we're just so used to seeing him with the suit and tie in every single scene that he definitely looked refreshing. And I like him with his longer hair too. basically he notices that her ring is gone and she reveals that she's not engaged and she keeps it on to keep suitors away. So I don't really know what's happening here with them. Are we going to get a redemption arc for Edie? Not like she really needs redemption, but right now it almost seems like she's playing him a bit, and Lucas is just very easily falling for a trap. But I hope not. We already got that with Jeanette. I don't want Lucas to just have bad luck all the time. So I think that they're going to work out an agreement and they're going to grow closer and then they're going to have something. At least that's my opinion by the end of the season. I just hope, because last season, Lucas, not only did he lose the resort, but he went through that whole mess with Jeanette. So I'm hoping this season he could get Edie and he could get the national park. That's my hope. I'm just hoping that'll work out in his favor for sure. And basically that ending is Elizabeth watching on as Oliver walks up to Allie to like ask to dance, and then Wyatt shows up with flowers, so Oliver has to like walk away, and Elizabeth sees this, and I was like, this is a parallel to the season 6 finale when Elizabeth and Lucas were dancing and Nathan and her were sharing a forbidden glance. I'm like, that's to me what it kind of felt like. And it's interesting to see Elizabeth watching it from that perspective. So yeah, that was the episode. It was a good episode. Very feel good, not much conflict at place. So next episode, Fiona is back, which is awesome. I don't really know why she's back, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Nathan's going undercover. Now, my guess right now is that they brought back this Wyatt kid, and he's the nephew of Ray Wyatt, who owns the railroad, I guess, still. We haven't seen him for a while, but I'm going to assume he still owns the railroad. So it's a train robbery is the investigation. So my guess is that Ray Wyatt is behind it somehow and has a connection to the Garrison gang. So I wonder if Nathan's, while he's undercover, is if he's going to find out that Ray Wyatt is involved somehow. And maybe we'll even see him. I doubt it, but maybe they'll bring him back and he's at the poker thing or whatever. And I don't know about the Wyatt kid. Like, is he in town on shady business or not? I mean, it doesn't seem like he is, but I feel like his uncle's sending him to do something. Now, we haven't seen him really do anything wrong yet, but I definitely think he spent the gold coin, which Ned and Florence should have noticed that, but whatever. I'm willing to put that aside. It's just kind of dumb to me. But that's my theory there. So, and I guess it also said something in the synopsis about Lucas and Lee putting aside their differences. So I do hope they can get on the same page and get this park thing going, because the conflict's a bit tiring at this point. So I'm hoping they can put that aside. But yeah, looking forward to next episode. I'll be back next week to talk about that. So thanks everyone for listening. Let me know your thoughts on the episode down below, and see everyone. Bye-bye.